The Canadian government gave advice to travel for people who went to Qatar, where the World Cup will begin on November 20th. The recommendations include all customs, laws and regulations that should be kept in mind when visiting the country. According to the online notification, open-handed love shows, including hand-in-hand holding and kissing, are not socially accepted, and women travelers are not expected to wear head covers. But they are considered inappropriate to reveal clothing. The advice draws attention to the travelers to conservative dressing, acting secretly, respecting religious and social traditions, and getting permission from the locals before photographing them. Notification also warns travelers that photographing government buildings, throwing garbage or spitting in public places, and eating pork are illegal activities that can punish people heavy fines or imprisonment. For those who drive in Qatar, the drivers in the country are often thought to be extremely aggressive. He adds that people drive on the right and that the accidents that cause S are among the leading causes of Qatar's. In terms of crime in Qatar, the ratio is low and violence is rare. However, the credit card is listed as something that will be awake. As of November 1st, a Qatar travel consultancy for entry requirements informs visitors that they no longer have to bring a PCR or quick antigen test certificate, or to pre-register an EHTERAS health application before arrival. Alcohol regions. There are other restrictions that travelers, including the country's alcohol consumption policies, should keep in mind. In Qatar, alcohol is strictly arranged in the majority Muslim Emirates. It is illegal to drink alcohol in public opinion. For the World Cup, the country has implemented public spaces that will be allowed to sell alcohol, and there will be areas determined for drunk people to be sober. Organizers said on Monday that Budweiser was ordered to carry beer benches to less visible areas, just a few days before the first match, when the country started the offer of hosting the World Cup in 2009. FIFA accepted the rooted Budweiser agreement. However, until September, beer sales policy was not accepted by the organizers in Qatar, which confirmed that fans would be allowed to buy alcohol from areas specified in 8 stadiums, not at regular privileges stands. Although the Associated Press was more than other Middle Eastern countries in Qatar in September. Alcohol in September. It is usually served only in hotels and restaurants with licenses. Jamie Byram, chairman of the Match Hospitality Executive Officer, said to Associated Press that the whole proposal process of the FIFA World Cup was designed to offer a World Cup experience that all the fans coming from around the world are a reason to wait for. Human rights concerns. Qatar is the first Arab country to host the world's largest sports event. There is an increasing concern about human rights standards in Qatar, and there are concerns about the treatment of immigrant workers while building stadiums that will host the tournament. A subsidiary of the French construction company Vinci was paid on Wednesday for forced employing against the rented immigrant workers to build the World Cup infrastructure in Qatar and other rights violations. In addition, the country's attitudes towards LGBTQ2S+ communities have increased concerns, including a boycott that hesitates to travel to a region that clearly provides discriminatory views. In Qatar, sexual actions between those of the same gender are punished. Khalid Salman, the ambassador of Qatar World Cup, launched a firestorm on November 8 when he described homosexuality as damage to mind during an interview with a TV channel in Germany. Canada warns travelers that visitors may be discriminated against or detained according to sexual orientation, gender identity or gender expression. The Canadian government said that the convicted fans around LGBTQ2S+ may be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison. CTV NEWS. CA writer Olivia Bowden and Associated Press Files.